This is Chris, the Idaho painter here on Paint Live TV. Today I got a special guest with me. I've got,
Paint wife Lisa.
I've got my wife, paint wife Lisa today. And today is a questions and answers video where we're going to be answering your questions. So I scrolled through YouTube, picked out some questions, and we're going to answer your questions right here. I got Lisa with me and she's going to help. And this is something new.
Okay.
Instead of Journeyman John sitting here, I've got you. So this is going to be a perspective.
So no technical questions for me, please.
It's going to be a different perspective. The do-it-yourself perspective. We got Peanut running around.
You don't
here,
let me DIY very often.
I don't. So
I got a lot of projects that need DIYing.
But I'm going to let you answer some questions, possibly.
Okay.
We'll see how. We'll just see how this goes. And if your question is used in this video, we're going to send you a t-shirt. So ask those questions.
Actually, we send gift cards so you could buy something at our store. See, that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here.
Because then it gets, if you have like a t-shirt, then it's shirt size and which one and blah, blah, blah. You get to pick.
You know, that makes sense. See, another one of my screw-ups. I got Paint Wife here to fix me. So leave your questions down below and we're going to send you a gift card, not a t-shirt. So if you're just randomly selected, and then we're going to DM you and see if we can get a hold of you and get you that gift card. So here we go. We've got Tyler on the other side of the camera. He's going to be answering the questions. So if you want to hear the answers.
He's going to be answering them?
See, that is why I have you.
He's going to be asking.
He's going to be asking them.
He's the voice of the...
And we have Peanut running around, and she's coming to visit again.
Stay home.
Hashtag
stay home.
Stay tuned for this video. Hopefully you enjoy it. So we're going to take a break and get started. All right.
Okay, we are hashtag stay at home.
Hashtag stay at home.
We're next to our house.
Somehow Peanut went from the ground to your lap now. So here we go. Let's just quit beating around the bush and let's get down to some questions. So don't forget, if you enjoy our videos, hit the subscribe button.
Ding.
Hit the notification bell. Ding, ding. If you don't subscribe, if you don't hit the notification bell, subscribing does nothing. It's free, simple, easy to do, doesn't cost you anything. Then you'll just get notified by email every time I come out with a new video. Sound. Here we go. First question, Tyler.
Okay, Carter's Custom Painting asks, do you always power wash your houses, or do you ever do any soft washing? If so, what kind of solution do you use when soft washing?
So that's a good question. So I'll go back to my early days, and we didn't power wash. When I first started doing houses and stuff, we soft washed with just a hose, and I always had the excuses we don't want to damage the house and stuff, and I had some other excuses, but really what it really came down to is I couldn't afford a power washer, and so eventually I got a power washer. I started power washing, and what I realized is the difference between a hose and a power washer, and to me, I use a rotating nozzle. It really agitates the dirt and it really helps remove contaminants from the house. And you just can't get that from soft washing. Now, using a power washer, you can damage the house. You can do bad things, get paint or get water inside windows through doors and stuff like that. That could damage windowsills and flooring. But once you learn how to properly power wash, it's not going to be an issue.
Do you have any videos teaching people how to power wash?
So I have multiple videos power washing and using that rotating nozzle. It's a 5,000 PSI rotating nozzle that just agitates the dirt on the surface and really cleans it well. So
do you use a power washer? The short answer would have been yes. And then the next one was cleaning solutions. Do you use any cleaning solutions on houses?
So I don't use any cleaning solutions. My fear was always, I know a lot of them say environmentally safe and stuff like that, but a lot of customers are uncomfortable with the chemicals and stuff like that and just don't want to put any chemicals in the ground. Just had a lot of fear with damaging plants, killing plants, harming grass and stuff like that. I used to use chemicals on fences and stuff, but I just got away from it. I felt over the years, just water used properly, cleaned properly.
Naz Kabir asks, why antifreeze?
So why antifreeze?
Because you don't want it to freeze. It's against freezing.
And that is
antifreeze.
That's exactly right.
I'm for freeze.
But and so and what is he even talking about? What he's talking about is we got pumps sitting down here, airless sprayers. Putting antifreeze in your airless sprayers
They
during
don't
the
like
winter
freezing.
time. If they freeze, one of the things you'll ruin the very first is a transducer. So if your transducer is bad after the winter time, your pump probably froze. Put antifreeze in it, and especially if you're working during the winter, because we would have them in a shed. We would drive to a location to paint. It's like 10 degrees, 20 degrees outside. The sprayer would literally freeze by the time we got to the location, and we couldn't even spray interiors until it thawed out. So antifreeze, even if you are storing them in a location. But I have an article I wrote, go check it out. It's on my website, and it's about, why I use antifreeze versus like Pump Armor and some of those other products out there that are really expensive. Antifreeze is more affordable.
I just think you need to look at your pumps and know that they are antifreeze. They don't like freezing.
I use antifreeze specifically because it's significantly cheaper than Pump Armor. Significantly. In antifreeze and Pump Armor, if you read my article, it's the same thing.
Tori Stansbury asks, how do you caulk a window seal when you're repainting the seals and walls if you can't let the caulk dry?
I got a video on that. So and I did one just recently of caulking and the whole method about caulking your tape and stuff. So, it goes into depth and in detail. So, and it's probably talking about like, you've got to run your masking, then say you're going to be painting your surface, but you've got to do 2 coats. And we always paint, our surface, stay away from the caulking, like about a 1/16 of an inch. And that's our first coat. And then on our second coat, we go caulk the tape. And this is only where the caulking is necessary. And like the windowsill, that would be kind of like the case.
So can you paint over wet caulking?
You sure can. And so we've been doing it for at least 15 years with fabulous results. It's never had an issue, never been a problem. But get down close to your tape. That first coat's going to dry. Then you caulk your tape, put your second coat on, pull your tape before your caulking and your paint dries, or you will have an issue with bridging. So there you go.
Brandon Herpeling asks, wow, you guys did a great job. I'm looking to redo and stain my deck, and I think I found the perfect video. Is there any advice you would give to this beginner before I start?
So he's doing a deck. So
is it anti-oil?
Anti-oil. I'm not sure what that refers to, but
don't use oil stain.
I've just transitioned over the years away from all oil-based products and all lacquer-based products because of smell, odors,
EPA
liability, EPA regulations, cleanup is just difficult.
Safety.
Explosion hazards, fire hazards. We were doing a deck once. I'll tell the story really quick. We were doing a deck. We set up all of our rags and stuff, in a bucket, had brushes hanging in the bucket, went off to lunch. The bucket was sitting next to the deck, and we came back and the bucket was melted. The fire was gone, but it spontaneous combustion, caught on fire, bucket burned all the grass around the deck. Luckily, it didn't burn the deck, it just killed the grass. So it's a real thing. It happened. So with us, and almost
so water-based, you don't have to worry about that.
No, and the technology in water-based coatings, especially deck coatings, I find the water-based coatings to be superior when it comes to fade resistance and adhesion. So versus oil-based products, and you can recoat over water-based products a lot easier than you can over oil-based products. And you can take and recoat water-based over the top of oil. That's the technology
Crazy.
These days
Yeah.
for polyurethanized deck coatings, and we specifically had a lot of luck with Super Deck.
So Gary Collum asks, flat or matte finish for good hide, living room and hallway areas.
For good hide?
Yeah.
So I would say like so flat or matte, and so flat paint is the very beginning. It's flat. Then you go up to like semi-glosses and glosses and satins, all that stuff.
I have a question. Does flat paint, has it improved? Because I remember one time we painted and you touch it and you see the mark forever. Has it improved, or is it the same?
Yeah, flat paints have improved over the years. There's flat paints that you can actually take a Sharpie marker and draw on it, and it'll actually come off. And so there's flat paints that's
gotten better.
You can wash them now. They're completely scrubbable. They're like $70 a gallon.
Okay.
But
get what you pay for.
Yeah, matte is just a step above flat, and so it has a slight sheen to it. And so when it comes to like hiding, and so hiding imperfections and stuff like that, if you have a lot of imperfections in your walls or ceilings, the flatter the paint, the better it hides those imperfections. The shinier the paint, the more it brings them out and highlights them. So if you're trying to hide stuff, the flatter you go, the better. Now, flat paint shows true color better, but in general, it's less washable, less durable, unless you buy specifically those high-end paints. So, like, here's the thing: on a hallway, if you got a flat paint, if a child touches the wall or you touch the wall, the oils on your hand is going to show up as a shiny spot on the wall. Which, if it was a satin, which we use on our interior repaints, 95% or probably 98% of our repaints are done with satin. And if anybody touches the walls, your oils are the same sheen as a satin, and you never see any of that. And just satin paints are just easier, more cleanable, and more durable than a flat or a matte in the same grade, like a mid-grade paint.
So, I mean, that's a good question to have, is like, what's your goal? What is the conditions of your walls? Because if they're in rough condition, you would maybe choose one or the other. But if you have high traffic, you maybe choose one or the other.
Brad Tabor asks, would you do the same if your trim was oil-based and your walls latex? I'm concerned the latex won't stick to the overspray oil base on the walls. I've got a lot of trim, need to do this right the first time.
So that's another good question. Now we're getting back to oil-based products. I don't know why anybody would paint their trim with oil-based products now. Now you have trim products that are far superior to oil-based products, and they won't yellow. Oil-based products will yellow over time, which is discoloring, and so you're not going to be able to touch them up, after several years. I mean, they start to yellow very quickly. So when it comes to adhesion, there's products out there that are just as good as oil-based products that spray, flow, and level. When you're spraying, just as good as oil-based. If you're brushing your trim, oil-based still has that ability to level and flow out really well, but he's spraying, so he's getting the overspray onto the walls. Yes, that will be an issue. You get the overspray on the walls. Now you're putting the latex over the top of oil-based.
Can you pull the paint off sometimes?
You could, if you're, you really would need to go scuff that up or prime over it. Or to me, if you really wanted to go that route, you need to mask your walls off, spray your trim. But I highly recommend, you going out
reinvest in water-based paint.
Using water-based coatings, for your trim. Nobody really uses oil-based products. They're really hard to find, almost impossible.
Depends on probably where you live. Some places
in the U.S. they're really hard to find.
So if you sprayed like emerald urethane on your trim and it got on the wall and you're going to paint with latex,
no issue.
No issue. So you don't have to prime it. You don't have to.
No issue. No issue with latex paints getting on your walls, going back over the top of them with latex paints.
I suggest reinvesting in the water-based finish.
All right. The next question is from Justin Deschamps. He says, I have a deck that has semi-transparent in it, but needs redone. Do I need to strip the old before applying new, or a new semi-transparent color?
Another really great question. So this is one of the reasons why I like solid color stains. You don't have to completely strip your deck. A semi-transparent, if you go over the top of a semi-transparent with a semi-transparent, eventually you're going to have like a semi-solid and eventually a solid. If you want it to have that semi-transparent look, you're going to have to sand or strip your deck all the way down. And what happens, shaded portions of the deck wear out less quick than the sun portions of the deck, which now will absorb your semi-transparent stain. The other ones will just sit on top and it begins to look uneven. If you want your deck to look good, using semi-transparent, you got to strip it. Very labor intensive, takes a lot of time. It looks better than a solid color stain, but if you choose the right solid color stain, they look amazing.
Is there any sanding systems you'd recommend? Like, I mean, obviously you can do elbow.
Yeah, we never would sand by hand. We always use power sanders.
Okay.
So I have an Ecosand, Unida Ecosand. I got multiple. I got a 5-inch, 6-inch, and a 3x4 sander, and I use their abrasives, which are called Ecosilk.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely want to get like if you only had one sander, get like a 5-inch orbital sander. I'll leave a link to Unida's website in the video description where I get my vacuums and sanders and abrasives from.
Mandy Speckman asks, or rather states, you're doing an awesome job, Chris. Love to watch all of your videos. Greetings from a colleague in the Netherlands. A bunch of emojis.
Oh,
That's
nice.
Cool. So, all the way from the Netherlands. So, a lot of people may not even know we have a worldwide audience, not just the United States.
Do you know where we shipped a package to today?
Where to?
South Korea.
South Korea. So
shout out to South Korea.
We do get questions like maybe every day. We have one person ask, "Do you ship here? Do you ship there? Are there any limitations to where we ship?" I mean, we ship
I did
worldwide.
send a hat to a follower in Iran, and it got sent back to me because the government wouldn't allow me to. So I was sorry about that.
But we shipped, but they couldn't get it. So
we don't ship to Iran.
Unfortunately, we don't ship to Iran no more because they won't allow you guys to receive the stuff. But we've been to the Netherlands too.
No, we haven't been to the Netherlands, but we had
Europe,
and
London.
No,
that's
but
not the Netherlands.
No, the Netherlands is where Femke lived.
Holland.
Yes,
Netherlands and the Holland are the same.
Yes, we haven't been there, but we're invited to go to a wedding of an exchange student that we had in October. So hopefully everything will be back to normal and we'll be able to attend.
Happy wedding day coming up. Or maybe if you watch this video, it's already passed. Femke and Lars. Yeah. So thank you for the support.
I'm glad he's pronouncing the names because I would be butchering them.
You would.
Yeah. So
Ricky Walker asks, Chris, what is the best caulk for hardy plank boards?
This is very important.
Is hardy back hardy?
It's like concrete siding.
So it's very hardy.
You don't want to use any caulking. This is very, very important. You don't want to use just any caulking.
Okay.
You want to use the right caulking. I highly recommend the Big Stretch. Big Stretch is one of the caulkings.
Not little.
That is bonds better than anything else. Has the capability to stretch more than any other caulking that I've personally ever seen.
So where would you buy Big Stretch?
It's not found just anywhere.
Okay.
Like our local paint stores don't have it. I think when I got it, it was at Franklin Lumber Supply.
Okay.
And it's very expensive. But if you're using Hardy Plank, I believe Hardy Plank even recommends that you use Big Stretch. When you're doing.
They probably have
siding.
A website.
So all the contractors out there that install Hardy Plank, that I know, they all use Big Stretch. So it's very important. If you don't use the proper caulking, you are going to get cracking and separation after the first winter. Or the second year.
Good.
Not good. Big Stretch.
Mike Wald asks, really appreciate your video. Question. Are you ever afraid of overspray on the ceiling? I noticed you didn't mask off the ceiling atop of the windows. Thoughts? So this just goes back to your confidence spraying. I'm highly confident in my spraying abilities. I think I've calculated it up. John and I together had over 22,000 hours of having a spray gun in our hand. It's a lot of spraying, so I'm very confident of my spray abilities in controlling overspray. I've never, since day one spraying, have I ever feared overspray. I've never had an overspray claim filed against us. But overspray is just something you have to just learn how to control it, learn how to spray properly, gun angles. I'm never worried about the ceiling, but in some of the videos you might see that we might be repainting the ceilings. I'm not sure what video we're talking about right now, but gun angle, proper tip size, proper pressure, all that goes into controlling overspray. If I'm not masking the ceiling, I'm going to turn down my pressure, have a brand new tip, control my
especially if I'm spraying trim, so I'm spraying a trim, I'm only using a 310. It doesn't have a big of effect of curling and getting up on the ceiling. By the time it actually gets up to the ceiling, we would say it's what we call flash dries. And so it actually won't even be wet paint that got on the ceiling. So I've never got overspray on a ceiling and from spraying where I didn't want it.
So, and if you did get it on there, you're painting the ceiling and it's not an issue.
Or if I did and it was a mistake, we would just re-roll the ceiling really fast. It's very simple and quick to roll the ceiling. All right, so we've only got time for one more question, so we're running out of time.
Oh, no.
We try to limit these things to about a half hour. We're going to do another questions and answers video with Lisa right here. So we're going to do two. If you want to see part 2 to this one, hey, stay tuned, for the next questions and answers video and see if your questions and answers or questions are answered, so you can get a free gift certificate to our store. So now here goes our final, question for the day.
Sherry McReynolds asks, you let the dog on?
Every now and then, we allow a little bit of our, personal life to show up in a video. So today the dog is on. Peanut is on.
Yeah, she is just relishing in the spotlight.
Peanut, you want to say hi to everybody?
She went for a walk today.
Say hi, Peanut. No, she yawned. So this is Peanut. So
she went for a walk today.
She's a guest in the video today. So that was our last statement or question for the day. We're gonna get going.
Yeah, we don't even know what that was.
But she still gets a gift certificate to our store. How much is the gift certificate we're giving out?
$15.
$15. So that can get you
$15.
$15 worth. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've enjoyed Lisa being on the video, give her a thumbs up.
Be honest, because I don't need to be doing this right now. Because if you give me a lot of thumb downs, then that means that you won't call me out here anymore. And
come on, just be strong. Hit the little thumbs up button. Show her your love. Show her your love.
And if you don't, I'm okay. I'm okay in myself that I'm not on camera.
So leave a comment, question down below. If you have any questions about these questions and answers that we just did, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We'll see you.